Hi, beautiful people. I wanted to record this video for you to share about something that I've just been through, and it's very much layered, but it's all around the attachment to the outcome and how that can hold us back in our life from what we are trying to create, especially when it's in service to something larger than ourselves. And I say this as I have last night I received the final version of a moon calendar that I've been creating. Now, I've created lots of things in my life, but I haven't created anything to sell, especially like a physical product. And there's a lot that's loaded into my feelings around this and around what I've created and have been creating. And before I received this final physical version in print, I had a test version printed, which I actually changed quite a few small things from the test version to the final print. And when I had the test version, I had nothing but excitement for when it came to me, and the point of me opening up to see what I had created, right? And when I received the final print, I had none of that. I had none of those feelings of excitement of what I had created, of the possibilities, of anything like that. And I realized, because I had been in conflict on and off during the final creative phase for different reasons anyway, but I realized that what was showing up was these different feelings, different patterns, different wounds that were coming up in regards to my own worth, in regards to creating something, my own attachment to the possibility of making money from it, my own, and not just the attachment, the feelings and the resistance to making money from what I've created, but also not allowing that to be okay in any form, I guess, or in different forms. And so I sat, I've never done this with anything, like anything that I've received. Obviously this is something specific, this is something that I've created. This is very much I can say, hand on my heart, that this is a tool for people. This is something that will help people expand their light, help them connect with the rhythm of nature, and to connect in different ways that I can't even comprehend. And when I step outside of my wounds, outside of what's held me back in this process, I've now been through things since last night. And when I step past those things that are holding me back, I can recognize it as a tool, as something which is there to help people. I can recognize it as the good that is created, that I am creating and allowing out into the world. So one of the things that came up for me, obviously, it's a physical product. And the whole idea of consumerism and putting these different objects, which are tools and not techniques, what's the word I'm looking for? Technologies, sorry. I have resistance to it, and a negative connotation, which again is my own wounding. And I remember as I was sitting there yesterday after I'd received the package, and I looked at all the things that are around me in my room, not just the sacred tools that I use, but the tools and the goods and the products that I take for granted. And one of them was my tablet, my laptop, which I use so much and for a lot of positive good. And I had to realize that as much as the tool wasn't made for my conscious expansion, that's what it's allowed me to do. And the tool, as much as we can look at these types of technology in different ways, we can look at it from the positives and the negatives. At the end of the day, it's been created to serve a purpose and to help us in what we do, irregardless of the level of what it is and how it's come about. So I had to acknowledge that and acknowledge what was around me, and that irregardless of how I feel in terms of consumerism and capitalism and my feelings around money and exchange, which are all woundings, I had to acknowledge that I am never going to escape that, and nor should I want to, because when I become conscious and when I allow myself to step up and stand more in my truth, then I'm going to use tools and technologies which are going to serve me more and more. And equally, I have to remind myself that there is no right or wrong in this experience of what we are moving through. So, yeah, there's a lot loaded in there. And I realized that the printer I used to get the A3 calendars printed they don't have any processes, they don't have anything in regards to using recycled. They do have recycled options, but it wasn't, I needed card, and they only had like a recycled paper option, but they don't have any, not that I could see, anything that's, FSC and other labels to say that it has been sourced from sustainable sources or using a certain amount of recycled thing. I realized that I was unconscious in this part of bringing the calendar to life. And then I had to question myself, well, where does that sit for me? And I also had to then explore what was coming up in regards to the use of the trees that obviously go into my product, the ink that goes into the product. And then I explored, well, then have you got the printers, which are probably using rare metals. And then I went down this whole road. And what I realized as I was traveling about all these different rights and wrongs is that they are just different, they're not different traps that we can fall down, but they are different levels of our being that we can move in and out of and essentially get caught in many ways. And that's not a... What do I mean by that is that we have to trust the truth of what we are creating. We have to trust the process of what we are creating. And So then I went and I created a ceremony, and I brought down all my sacred tools that I realized were made of wood and had pieces of wood in them. So then along with the moon calendar, the test prints, and the new package, and I just created this type of altar and this dedication to the trees and to wood, and that felt really good, because it was honoring the connection and reconnecting and remembering the sacred element of what we are navigating and weaving through our lives. And as much as we can get caught in and out of these traps of what is right and wrong, the more we allow ourselves to step into the truth of what we are creating, the more we can allow ourselves to not just step into our truth, but step into honoring what is sacred, stepping into our sacred self and aligning that with our true selves, and seeing how the two meet, how the two divert. And how does that play into the attachment to the outcome? Well, I then decided to do a healing journey, because I realized that I had obviously a lot of wounds that were there. And I'm not to say that I just did this healing journey last night and I'm suddenly all healed and I'm ready to go. But I did shift certain things, and even in that process, I've just had a lot of realizations in the last week. Really, it goes beyond just what's happening in this moon calendar. There's a lot changing for us at the moment, and I have to share this, for me as much as for you. But within this healing process, which I had to let go of the outcome, I had to let go of my senses, my sensicles, and I had to step into the unknown of what the healing was and relax into the process of it. Not only to allow the true healing to come forwards for what was needed for me in the process, but to recognize what was available to me throughout all processes. When I look at the healing, especially because I do energy healing modalities, I look at it within structures. But the healing that I went through today was very much a deeper conscious tapping into other energies and allowing them to intuit the flow, allowing my intuition and my being to go and open up to the flow that was there, that was coming forwards, to the healing process that was coming forwards. And anyway, so I went through this whole process, and one of the healing realizations that I came to was realizing that my attachment to the outcome was a wound that was holding me back, but not only in the sense of where my woundings will hold me back from allowing this moon calendar to go into the world, but also in the space of owning up to my actual involvement in the process and my actual over involvement in the process. Because I realized that my attachment to the outcome, which is in many ways indefinable, because ultimately the more I allow myself to hold on to the idea that I'm going to imagine and know where the moon calendar is going to go, where it's going to connect with people, what is going to be the financial return for me, all these different levels are just outward perceptions that I'm projecting into the potential future and taking me away from what is available in the present now. And then when I realized that these attachments to the outcome are also directly linked to my attachment to what I have created, the moon calendar. And then I realized that actually what I have created isn't just what I have created, but I have allowed that insight and that inspiration to come from Spirit, to come through, to emerge and to move through that creative process through me as the vessel to create this product. And you know, I had to realize that my attachment to the moon calendar was the idea that it was mine, that I had created it. And this was such a massive false narrative that I can, and it's easy to play in and out of that in all things in our life, but I realized that because I've got a lot of other projects that are coming in and out at the minute, and that I'm in the middle of creating, of weaving, and that attachment to the idea that it's for me, that it's that I have created it and I want to see the outcome and I want to see the return, is massively holding me back from the potential of giving in truth and in love. And it's just one of those, like, I can see that in reflection to others. I can see that in reflection in different circumstances, but it's taken me to this point to see that in reflection to myself. And I just had this moment of just allowing myself to separate, to release the attachment that I had created, and to recognize it as a service that I had helped co-create it into being. I mean, it's even part of an attachment to say to the point that I've created it. I have moved the energies through, but the energies have facilitated it, and it's my vessel, my being, which have allowed it to physically manifest into being, but only through the creative insight and inspiration of Spirit and the energies and consciousness that have been working through it. And I realize now I can't hold on to that attachment if I want to allow it to go out and to serve people in truth. And by holding on to those attachments, I only stop myself from receiving the reciprocity, the prosperity and the abundance that are there for me to receive in reciprocation of not just the service, because to even say that the abundance that will come in the service that I have provided through the co-creation of this calendar is still a limitation. It's to let go of this and to step up into service without the attachment of what it is that we are creating. And that would then say that to let go of the attachment of me creating this in general, or any other idea, not just a physical product, but an art, a piece of art, a team-led project. There's no ends to what we can create with the inspiration that we are given, but it's to recognize the part we play in service to the all that is. And that's it, really. Yeah, I will. I still haven't opened it up, but we will just go and open it now because I feel that that's right. So, and that's not to say that I shouldn't feel excited and happy about the process of what I have co-created. Because now I've let go of the attachment, I can allow the love to come forward into the process of it. And to recognize that through this co-creation, you know, I am of service and I am allowing myself to be and to do, irregardless of the outcome. And it's that letting go, and I still feel there's definitely work to do. I can still feel in my stomach as I'm saying this. So I know that there's more to come, but it's all good. Well. So, yeah, this is it. And I still have mixed feelings. I still have mixed feelings around it. I'm not surrounded with that joy. I'm feeling very mixed at this moment in time. And that's okay. I have to honour that and know that that's okay. But yeah, that's it. But I want to sing, I want to dance, and I want to be joyous over what I have co-created, and the aspect of myself that has created. I think it's something which, we just have to honour. Gosh, and to think that we get it all right all the time. This is the whole point of it being a learning. Me receiving the package, as I know I said it before, but it just brought up the stuff that's necessary, and the healing that I've done today, last night, the processes that I've been through are just a beginning built on the total beginning of all woundings and endings, releases, breathing in, breathing out, and yeah. So that's enough of my meanderings and my endless loving jabberings. Much love to all of you, and I shall be on more and giving more, and I know more of a direction of where I want to actually direct the videos and the creations that I want to do, because there is something that is emerging for me, and that's also part of it, because what I realized as well is how much of this attachment, now I'm just going to add a little bit before I finish, the attachment to the outcome predefines the beginning of what it is, because as soon as you create that attachment to the outcome, then you are you're not inhibiting the flow of what spirit is going to provide for you, or wanting to provide for you. And I realized, in my gosh, the amount of hours I've spent trying to looking through content on YouTube and other places of how I should create content, how I can allow that to expand out to the masses, to get my message out there, and everything else. And I think it has served to teach me a lot. Like, if we don't have the right skills, then we aren't going to get our message out. If we don't put our video on YouTube, how do you expect, or any other platform, a social media platform, how do you expect it to go out there to the masses? It's not just our ability to step into service. It is our ability to step into service in regards to the world and the space that we find ourselves in, the internet, social media, all aspects of technology that is emerging and has emerged for us is there for us to use and utilize. But I guess in regards to what I was speaking about is again that attachment to the outcome. And you know, the videos I've created, or not even created, I've wanted to create, because I've done all this research and everything else and got lost down rabbit holes, and you know it, you see it. And it's kind of stopped me from that creative process because my attachment to the outcome makes me think that it has to be perfect before it goes out there. And yes, people want to see good content. Me creating a video like this, where it is just all over the place, it's not structured thought content, it's me coming in with an idea and then just allowing myself to flow or not flow with what is being presented to me, rather than structuring, scripting and largely editing it. And you can say that would work in detriment to me, but again, it's just that balance. Because once you allow yourself to step into service, then without attachment to the outcome, then you can add those elements to it. Then you can add all of what is going to serve you in the process of serving all that is. So, yeah. With that, I'll leave you, and I shall hopefully see you soon. Much love to all of you.